Stace and Barry in the morning. We're coming at you over the internet with your breakfast or maybe your lunch. I don't know when you're listening to this. Hey, welcome to season 3, episode 21 of Stace and Barry in the morning. I'm the Stace half of that title, and sitting on this virtual sofa with me, drinking a cup of what I'm going to assume is coffee, but could be whiskey. I don't know. Is the Barry half. Morning, Barry.
Hi, or as I'm sometimes known as, the back half of a pantomime horse.
That's not flattering to either of us, I don't think. I'm assuming I'm the front of the horse, of course.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, as analogies go, it's not one of my best ones. Now that I can see it, it's, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it could be worse. I could have said human centipede, so do you know what I mean?
That's true. But to be fair, like, no offence. Well, I'm only offending myself here, but, like, if I was me, I wouldn't want to be downwind of me in a horse costume. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
Because I am a bit of a gassy lass. Hey, let's get off this topic.
This is off to an uncomfortable start, isn't it?
You did it. You went there.
Yeah, well, I thought in my head, this was going to be funny. It was going to be a great little humorous intro. And it's just gone downhill rapidly.
I mean, it could be funny, the prospect of me tooting on your head, but
no,
not to either of us, I don't think.
Just no.
Should we just move on?
Let's just pretend the last sort of 2 minutes didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that.
Apart from your intro was great. I was only fucked it up.
Oh, thanks.
You know what I
mean, I feel like I lost the trail of the tune of the song towards the end, but I'm not a singer. I don't make up songs and that. So you get what you're given, innit? You get what you're given, and you'll deal with it.
Get what you're given. You make the flipping best of it.
What an aggressive start to a morning podcast. Should we do a segment then, or do you want to? Have we got any small talk we can do?
Just going to say that I've now. Well, no, it's a hopeful bit of small talk. I have now moved Sonic the Hedgehog into my to watch queue on Netflix.
Yeah.
Given the fact it's never been on my to watch queue, I think is an important step forward for me and for humanity.
Well, I think the fact that by the time this episode comes out, Sonic 2 will be out in the UK. So, yeah, you need to get on it because Sonic 2 looks wonderful.
It does look good. I mean, to be honest, once again, I probably won't watch it until it comes on streaming or whatever. But I have to say, the latest trailer was the one where I was like, right, I'm going to move Sonic 1 into my to watch queue. And quite a few people, including yourself, have said to me I should watch it. But like I said, I think I've still got the shadow of Sonic with teeth.
Yeah.
It's a difficult image to shake.
Yeah, it's not good. I still can't fathom out whether that was purposeful, you know. Like, because I can't imagine how that would ever have got past, like, a design stage all the way to an animation stage without somebody going, what the fuck actually is this, though?
Yeah, but
I wonder whether it was a thing that was like, let's generate some talk on the internet by making it look so dreadful, and now everyone's talking about Sonic.
I mean, I'd like to think that was the case, but I'm sure someone's just sat there and gone, I think he'll look great with teeth, and they've just gone with it.
Oh, no, what a mistake. Let's definitely do a segment now.
Let's do a segment.
People will be like, shut your faces, lads. But then reopen them for this segment. Musical musings.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that first.
Changing it up. Okay.
Yeah, man.
You want to go first?
Okay, I will. I saw a film the other week which is called Studio 666, and it is a film made by the Foo Fighters during lockdown. And it's a horror film where the band rent out like this old house to make their new album because they're feeling a bit uninspired, so they think like a change of scenery might help. And then a demon possesses Dave Grohl and he does a murder on all the others. And it's shit, but it's really fun. But the particularly interesting thing about it is, now I will preface this by saying I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan. I've seen them many, many times live and absolutely love them. but their last album and a half, maybe 2 albums, have been almost aggressively mediocre.
It's a praise.
So I was very pleasantly surprised that in this film, like, I mean, I'm going to spoil it because it's not really a film that it doesn't matter that I spoil it because it's just the Foo Fighters running around doing murders. But like the whole sort of plot of it is that like Dave gets possessed and he has to finish writing this like sort of summoning song that will bring like an even bigger, scarier demon down or up from wherever. And that song is fucking cracking.
Right.
It's better than anything they've put out for many years, which makes me feel quite bad to say because it's not technically Foo Fighters music. Dave Grohl decided to sort of create an EP from an imaginary band that they're in the film like very briefly at the start as like this has happened in this house before kind of thing. And that fake band is called Dream Widow. And it's basically just Dave Grohl playing like all of the instruments and doing all of the things. So the song that I've picked this time is called Lacrimus Dei Ebrius, is how I'm going to say it's pronounced. I don't know, because I don't speak Latin. And according to the internet, it means like tears of God or something along those lines. Or tears of the devil, maybe, I forget. I don't know.
I mean, that's a pretty big...
It's a pretty big difference. Well, the
either
thing is,
tears of God or tears of the devil. I mean...
The thing is, I was just looking at those words and I was thinking none of those look like they could mean God in Latin, but then I also thought none of them look like they could mean the devil either, so I might have fucked up entirely and that's not even a little bit what it means. But it's like a 10, 11-minute long instrumental metal song. And I love it. I really fucking love it. It's one of those songs that'll really get you like fired up for like doing some mischief, or if you mean, you know, geared up to just going outside during COVID times. It's a really good song. Dave Grohl is like one of the world's best drummers, and there's like drum bits in this song that, like, you know, when you see somebody do something musically and you think, I don't know how your body is moving its bits fast enough to produce that sound. Yeah. Like sometimes you'll watch like a violin solo and you'll be like, how do your fingers though? How do they do that? That's what this song is like in parts with the drums, where it's like, how is any human person achieving this level of drummery noise? It's baffling to me. It's the kind of song that makes you wish you were talented musically. Or it does for me anyway. Yes, that's my choice. Lacrimus Dei Ebrius.
Nice.
Yeah.
And apologies to Satan worshippers if Stace has got the name of the song wrong.
I know,
and
I'm sorry.
Apologies to God worshippers if Stace has got the name of the song wrong. I feel we've covered it with that disclaimer now.
Yeah, well, apologies to any Latin speakers as well for the like Brummy pronunciation. Lacrimus Dei Ebrius in it.
Yeah, I think you'll find that's the authentic Brummy rendition of that phrase. So my pick of the fortnight could go one of two ways because I'm not sure if I've picked this one before. But I'm on a real kind of nostalgia tip at the moment, partly because I'm writing another book. Well, it's kind of what I do. It's my bag. Which again is set in the 80s. So again, I've delved into my 80s playlist. And now that I've said that, I don't even know if this show was that in the 80s, but I'm sure it was. But the main reason I've been listening to these albums is because I've been reading Giant Days.
Ah, okay.
And I think I've talked about Giant Days before. Obviously, you're aware of it, Stace. It's basically a comic about university days centering around three women, Daisy, Esther, and Susan. Mm-hmm. Barry fact, Susan, who comes from Northampton, is the name of my wife, who now lives in Northampton.
Oh.
With me.
That's sweet.
Yeah. And there are some similarities. I won't say which ones they are.
I'm not even going to hazard a guess for fear of wrath.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of them. But there's what it was in one of the volumes. I can't remember what volume it is. There's a panel, and I think it's Daisy says it used a sort of more ditzier one, and she says like, "Who's interrupting my Clannad time?" And I just found it hilarious because I love Clannad, and it made me sort of think, oh, I should have Clannad time. So I've been listening to like Clannad, and
Nice.
yeah, and it's reminded me of how much I've been listening to the Robin of Sherwood soundtrack. And it reminded me how much I loved that show back in the day when I was a kid. It used to come on Saturdays. I just loved it. And again, it's that sort of thing, nowadays, those sorts of shows now with Netflix and Amazon, they're kind of dime a dozen. You're tripping over sort of geek shows. Whereas when I was a kid, there wasn't as, there was still a fair splattering of them, but there weren't as many, shall we say. And this was a great one. So I'm gonna pick the title track, which is The Hooded Man, but I can't remember if I've already picked it before.
I don't think you have. I feel like I would have remembered this conversation if we'd had it before.
Yeah. Open the Hooded Man. Dum-dum-dum-dum. Yeah, I love it. Never get tired of hearing that piece of music.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you like a bit of Clannad?
Do you know, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard a bit of Clannad.
Wow.
I know, that's a shocker, eh?
Yeah.
I'll have a listen and I'll report back. Or I'll be suspiciously quiet because I don't like it.
Well, yeah, it's going to go one of two ways, isn't it? Certainly listen to the Hooded Man. Like I said, I was a big fan of the TV show back in the day.
I'm sure I watched that, but I don't remember the song, which is a terrible thing to say. So I'll shut up and move on, shall I?
It's for the best.
Extra, geek all about it. Geek all about it. Barry, do you want to geek all about it?
Blimey, you're really changing it up.
Well, I thought I'd finish on the pick of the fortnight because my geek all about it is like, it's not bad news, but it's also not good news. So,
so my bit, which I just discovered, there was a comic back in the day which I used to read, which I really liked, called Black Hawks.
Yeah.
And it was about like a kind of elite team of ace pilots in World War II. So it had a real sort of pulp vibe to it and stuff. So as I was kind of looking for a bit of news, I stumbled across this. I had no idea this was happening. So 4 years ago, it was announced that Steven Spielberg was producing a feature film adaptation of the DC Comics property Black Hawks. I had no idea. And what makes it even worse is no fucker told me.
Oh, no?
No one told me.
That's rude.
It's proper pulp. No one thought, and it's done by produced by Steven Spielberg, which isn't the same as directed by Steven Spielberg. I'll take that on board. But, no one's told me. I had no idea. But they're saying apparently they've got a script for it. And they're saying it's going to need a budget of 200 mil.
Oof.
200 boys for that bad boy.
That's a pretty hefty sack of dollars.
Yeah, what they've said is we have a script that's very good and we all think it's very good. A lot of money. Apparently they're trying to decide whether or not what they want to do with it because it's DC.
Oh, of course.
And whether or not they want to sort of tie anything in.
I mean, I don't mean to be rude. I don't know if they've got anything they can tie it into.
Yeah.
Like, I know they keep trying to make a universe happen, but, like, it's not happening. I mean, I'll be honest, I haven't seen the Batman yet, so I don't know if or how that ties into things, but, like, I don't know, just do it on the side, who gives a shit?
To be honest, I kind of feel now like with the DC stuff and with the MCU is just gained so much momentum, that DC should just lean into the solo films
Yeah,
and
me
and
too.
not worry about it. And it's interesting because a lot of the films that people have really sort of raved about have tended to be the sort of solo films
Yeah.
of the newer batch. I mean, as opposed to like going back to like your sort of Batman Begins and that sort of stuff.
Cool. Well, I wonder if they're going to announce any. I suppose if they don't really know what they're doing with it yet, it's not at the sort of casting type stage, but that'd be an interesting one to keep an eye on because it's not a property I've ever heard of.
Black Hawks.
It sounds right up your street, though.
Yeah.
My little bit of geek all about it news is just to say that the Breath of the Wild 2 video game has been postponed to next year, which has made me. I was going to say it's made me a little bit sad, but that's not true because Rich hasn't finished playing the first one yet. So I suppose it gives him more time to finish it so I can watch him do it before we get the new one. But it's sad for most gamers who aren't terribly behind like Rich and I are. So, yeah. I know. I was at lovely friend of ours, social media Mike's house once, and he was like, "Hey, do you want to watch me play Breath of the Wild?" Because this was before Rich got it, and I was like, "Yes, please." So he restarted the game and promptly forgot that he didn't have his little parachute thing, and jumped off a cliff and died. I couldn't stop. He was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't got my sail yet, have I?" Dick. I love Mike.
Wah, wah, wah.
Should we do a bit of pick of the fortnight in?
Let's pick it.
Pick of the fortnight. I'm going to be cheeky and go first, just because Barry, my pick of the fortnight is the same as my pick of last fortnight. You know how I was like, Barry, watch Severance. Do it though. Do it because it's good. Watch it though.
Yes.
Well, the latest episode had a moment in it that was so utterly, what in the actual fuck, it blew my mind. And there's nothing else that I've seen or read or listened to or played in the past fortnight that has hit me as hard as that. I can't stop thinking about it. I need the next episode now, please. Everybody go and watch Severance.
So I've been watching Severance.
Yay!
Hold that, yay.
Oh no, he hates it.
No, I don't.
And this is where the podcast ended.
This is the literal severance. No, what was really interesting was I think we had 5 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been 4, I don't know. Anyway, soon I sat and we basically blitzed through. It was either 4 or 5 episodes. I don't know how many episodes are out now. But we watched enough that it got to the stage where it was then weekly.
Yeah.
And what we realised was that was a problem for us.
Yeah.
Because I think, and that's not the same with every show, and that's not the same. Obviously, people's viewing habits are different. But certainly for us in that show, there was something about waiting that extra week for the episode because we started watching it and it was kind of like, what was going on again? Because it is quite.
Oh yeah, it's mindfucky.
Yeah, and I think because we'd watched, I think maybe it might have been different had we started the show when the show started and we were watching it weekly. Maybe, I don't know. But I think because we watched so much of it in one go and we were kind of engrossed in the story, which we were, because it's really good. It was really different, which is what I liked about it. And then there was some real like headfuck ideas and concepts, just the idea of it and the fact that I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to spoil it, but it is almost effectively 2 different people. Same person, and they, and it's this argument about rights and stuff like that, and it's real big mind stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I then struggled because it was like, right, now here's your next episode. Right, we've watched the episode, but we've got no more. We've got no more to come after it. And so what we've decided to do is, because I think we'd got to stage, I think there were 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
So we've decided to wait until all 3 are out, and then we're going to go and watch it.
Nice.
So so it wasn't that I'd stopped liking it, but I realised that the weekly format for it wasn't working for me. Yeah. Because it is quite slow.
It is, yeah, and I think because I've been watching it. So for some reason they released 2 episodes to start with, and then it went weekly from there.
Right.
And like, I think because I've been watching it basically weekly since the start, it's been very sort of like, oh, I can't wait till next week for the.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think when you've watched like 4 episodes and you're like, right, okay, that's a good chunk of Severance. By the next week, it's a case of like, oh, I've got to get back in the mindset of Severance, haven't I? Whereas, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Like for me, I've just been, it's been one of those shows that like, I just haven't seen many people talking about. And I find that really weird because it's probably one of the most innovative things I've seen for ages. It's like one like series long fucking Twilight Zone or something. Like,
See, I mean, I think part of that is there's so much content out there that is like our kind of content, if you get what I mean, you know, so that it's very rare now that you get everyone on the same page at the same time watching the same thing, you know, and for every sort of Severance, there's probably another 6, 7 shows which are as good.
Yeah.
Some of which are on a different streaming channel, some of which, do you know what I mean? And everyone's trying to catch up at different points.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem. But I think what I found watching those 4 episodes back to back was my overall takeaway was like, I felt really uneasy watching it. And there was a real sinister tone to it. Even though it wasn't like horror and it wasn't like people doing horrific things or anything, but it was just a real sinister tone to it. And some of it's
but yeah, so that's my pick of the fortnight again, because nothing has topped it this fortnight.
Yeah.
Barry's pick of the fortnight.
My pick of the fortnight, boom. So yes, interesting that we were talking about how there are shows that are going on at the moment that people haven't watched and are really good. So this show came out I think a little while ago, but I started watching it and the blitz. I haven't watched it all. I'm about halfway through. It's called All of Us Are Dead. Have you heard of this?
Oh, mate. So me and Rich started watching this, and then for reasons I can't fathom, because we were enjoying it, just stopped and we haven't gone back to it. I don't know what's wrong with me.
What?
I know. Okay, where are you up to?
I think because we actually watched half the episode tonight. I'll be going back to it after I finish recording, and I think that was episode 5.
Okay, you might be an episode ahead of me then, because I've either seen 4 or 5. I can't quite remember.
Okay. Yeah, no, I can't want to. Where I've just got to is because this isn't really a spoiler. All I'll say is they've lit a fire and they're kind of sitting around the fire.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that one. Then.
Okay, then you might be on episode 4 then, or at least episode 4 is the last one you saw.
Yeah.
Mate, it's a flipping show and a half.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah, I love it. And so if people don't know, All of Us Are Dead it's a South Korean zombie apocalypse show on Netflix. And what happens is there's the science teachers develops this serum that turns people into zombies. Accidentally. And the reasons behind, and I think as well, there's so much going on with this show as well. This show's going on so many different levels, emotional levels, and it's really when you find out the reasons behind why the guy was doing what he was doing, it's really sad.
Yeah,
you can't help but feel for him and for the kids, but you wouldn't get a UK show like this because there's a lot of death in this show. And a lot of the death is quite unexpected.
Yeah.
Because you kind of sit there and you kind of watch it. We've watched loads of films and disaster things and stuff, and you kind of go, yeah, that's your character that you're going to be. Oh, no, they're dead. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. A little bit of a twist like that. Someone will, oh, no, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it'd be, oh, no, they're dead. Right, okay. And, you know, it kind of continues that way. There's a lot of people get taken out in this show. Also, there's a lot of proper chipping in this show.
Oh, there really is. Yeah.
There is none of this little jog for the camera type thing. This is the sort of show that actually generally makes me believe that they just went to a school, stuck a load of zombies in there, and then filmed the results.
Yeah, it was when me and Rich started watching it, like we were sort of thinking like, oh, we know what we're going to get from this, and we had this sort of feeling that maybe a zombie thing shouldn't be a series. Like, are they going to have enough to talk about? Yeah, they're going to. It's going to be fine. I don't know why we were thinking we were better writers than the people that wrote this fucking show.
Well, it is the same. We thought exactly the same. We started watching. Well, this is great, and I think so much goes on in those first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
And then Sue kind of went and looked because she's obsessed with knowing how many episodes things are. Whereas I'm kind of once I've started something and I know it's good, then I'm in. And she's, let me see how many. She goes, there's 12 episodes. And I was like, what? There's 12. I'm like, how are they gonna sustain this for 12 episodes? Yeah. But then what you realise is they start to expand to the outside world as well and stuff like that. And effectively, it is a zombie thing set in the school, but it's basically a disaster TV series, a disaster show TV series, and I'm there for days for it.
Yeah. See, I wonder whether the reason we petered off with it a bit was because there was one episode. You might want to cut this or like bleep this particular bit out, but depending on how spoilery you think it is, there was one episode where there was a lot of standing around trying to make a decision in a classroom. Right, that's as spoilery as I'll be.
Yeah.
And I think me and Rich were like, is there going to be a lot of this where there's a scene that could be 5 minutes that's now suddenly like 45 because they're making 12 episodes of this? But on the other hand, I did say, like, the thing about it is that the rest of the show is like so relentless, and like you say, there's so much chipping happening. Like, I get anxious when zombies move fast, even though I know they're not real and I'm not there.
Yeah.
But I get anxious on the behalf of other people because I'm like, they're moving so quickly. Please fucking run, like really run. See, I don't know whether that we needed like that classroom time to just like chill the fuck out for a second.
Yeah, because I think there's two of the kids, like there's 2 boys, and when it comes to like the rare definition of like indestructible, like just two boys that just do not want to die. Do you know what I mean? Those 2 boys that just do not want to die. Those guys could chip, and like. There was a bit where one of them was just running. He was doing all these little moves and sliding on the tables, and like I was like screaming, and Stu was like, "No, go that way, go left, go." No, why is he doing that? Why is he going that way? It's so intense. I needed them standing around chatting for a little bit because I just need to just like bring my own heart rate down. Yeah, it's a cracking show.
Oh, you'll have to let me know if it keeps it up then, because like me and Rich might go back to it if.
Yeah.
Oh, on that note, we've been talking for a really long time. You've probably cut this masterfully so that it's like a cool half an hour.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to send us a message about any of the things that we've waffled about, do us a tweet at Stacey's Parlour or at Geek Syndicate. You can send an email to staceandbarry@gmail.com, or you could send a carrier pigeon. I'm not giving you my address though, just hope it gets to me somehow.
Yeah. Pigeons
seem to quite like the street that I live on, so maybe it'll work.
I thought you were going to say pigeons seem to quite like me.
Oh, no, most animals are very suspicious of me. I think that's why I'm scared of nearly all of them, because whenever I happen to be around an animal, it will always look at me as though it's like, I've got your fucking number, mate. Don't mess with me. I know how to take you down. And I'm like,
in my mind, I've got you walking down the street and there's a squirrel eating a nut, and you come past and the squirrel drops the nut and just does 2 fingers to his eyes and to you.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah, that is exactly what it's like. That is my life. It's like a reverse fucking Cinderella, where all the animals are like, no, not this one. No.
No, not this one.
All the other princesses and that, yeah, this bird, no thanks. Shifty. Don't want any of this.
Shifty. Keep on walking.
Anyway, happy Saturday, everyone, or whatever day it is that you're choosing to listen to this nonsense.
Yeah, enjoy the nonsense, embrace the nonsense.
Yeah, baby. We love ya. Bye.
Bye.